anything over that 5k distance, it comes into its own, especially when your legs start getting tired. Good morning, welcome back to the channel. So today I thought I would do a bit of a race recap on my Prodirect 100km relay that I did last week. Yesterday I posted the race day vlog. So I'm going to talk through my two legs. The first leg was a 13.5km leg, and it was the second leg of the day. And then my second leg was a 7.5km leg, which was actually the last leg of the day down in London. I'm going to talk a little bit about the paces I ran at, look at some of the heart rate data and how I was feeling, and yeah, geek out a little bit on Strava with all the data that I managed to compile from the day. So if you haven't watched yesterday's video, the aim of the day was to break the 6 hour 9 minute world record. Now unfortunately that time is under embargo, so you'll have to watch the Prodirect video, which is coming out in the next few days, to find out if we actually broke the world record. But yeah, I can talk a little bit about my two legs. So Becky started us off down in Regent's Park, London. She was doing a 13km leg to start the day. So I took the baton from Becky and started my first lap of 3. I was followed with the bike pacer. I'll jump onto Strava now and talk you through some of the splits from the day. So here we have leg 1. I'm going to go down to pace analysis. Here you can see my sort of splits from the day. First kilometre was in 3:05, so that's pretty fast for me. It's even faster than my 5k race pace, but the course was slightly downhill, so I got moving quite fast. And then I sort of settled in to a pace around 3:12 per kilometre, which I believe is probably just a little bit above my lactate threshold. My heart rate average is around 170 to 175 beats per minute at that sort of pace. And I actually managed to run a 10k PB in that first leg. I think it was a mixture of having a guy on the bike filming, a subscriber called Julian. He joined me for the second lap, which kept me going strong. And yeah, just the whole sort of team ethos of the day made me just find that a little bit extra gear. So I went through the first 5k in 16:05. I remember my watch beeping 16:05, so I knew I was on for a pretty quick 10k time. And then in the second 5k, so I started to pick up the pace a little bit towards the end, especially kilometre 9 and 10. I think, yeah, around 3:06 and 3:09 were the last 2k of that sort of 10km effort, if you like. And I averaged 15:54 for the second 5k, so I actually picked it up a little bit with an 11-second positive split, which I was absolutely chuffed with. Which, just to give you a bit of context, that was about a 52-second PB for the 10k distance. Obviously unofficial, I'm not going to be taking that doesn't go on my power of 10, but yeah, it shows that I'm in good shape, and hopefully I can break that 32 minutes in a race fairly shortly. I've got a few 10k races coming up in the next week. Actually, I'm going to be doing hopefully one when we go on holiday to Stockholm, and then the week after that I'm doing the 10k. Let me just have a look here on my calendar. On February the 6th, I'm doing the Valentine's 10k at Easton College in Norwich. So yeah, a few 10k races over the next few weeks. Hopefully I can break that 32-minute barrier. So moving on to my second leg. It was a 7.26km leg. Everyone had sort of done either 1 or 2 legs throughout the day, so this was actually number 11 for the team, and I was chosen to do the last leg, which was an absolute honour. So my aim was to carry the baton around, which had a Phoenix 7 Garmin watch on it, which was recording the distance and time. Basically take the watch to 100km, which was a little bit of added pressure on my last leg, and having obviously ran my 10k PB in the morning, my legs were feeling a little bit tired. I had 4.5 hours in between, so I'd had plenty of time to sort of recover, refuel, get some fluids on, so I wasn't feeling super tired, but my legs certainly weren't fresh. So yeah, going into the details of the second leg, if I press laps here, my first kilometre I ran in 3:03, which is absolutely rapid for me. I don't know what I was doing there. Obviously the excitement of the day again was having its toll. A 3:03 for the first K, then I settled in again around that 3:12 pace for the remaining kilometres, and I actually managed to run a 1 second per kilometre faster for the 7K loop, so my second leg, than I did in the morning, where I averaged 3:13 per kilometre. So yeah, absolutely chuffed again with that. Around 16 minutes for the 5K split again. So I was constantly hitting that 16-minute mark for the 5K, which is starting to feel a bit more comfortable now, having built up my training over the last few weeks. So yeah, going into the leg, I was feeling a little bit knackered after doing obviously the first leg in the morning and then chasing everyone around with a camera to get my own footage in the video that you saw yesterday. And that really brings me on to the shoes. So the Alphaflys, the Ekiden colorway that I was wearing. So I will just say this is my third pair of Alphaflys, so I'm not new to this shoe. I've ran in it for a fairly long time, probably around the year to maybe a year and a half. I've actually got my first pair of Alphaflys here, which is in the Olympic colorway, and I've ran nearly between 800 and 900 kilometers in this shoe, and you can tell if you look at the bottom there, it's really worn down in these areas, especially here. This bit is peeling off. It's hanging on for dear life. I was still using this shoe for my long runs. The way it cushions my legs and basically protects my legs over that longer distance is incredible, which I'll talk a little bit more in just a second. So yeah, there's the Ekiden colorway, a lot less worn. Obviously I've only done about 15-20 kilometers in this shoe so far. So I just wanted to touch quickly on the Vaporfly, Alphafly, sort of which shoe is better. I get that's probably the question I get asked the most. Which do you prefer? And the answer is both shoes are incredible shoes, but the Alphafly for me has a slight advantage for any distance over the 5 kilometers. So 10K, half marathon, marathon, they're all distances. If I was racing, I would choose the Alphafly over the Vaporfly. And for me, the reason being is this shoe is exceptional at sort of running a consistent pace over the course of a race. And I found more than any other shoe that I've tried, you can maintain your goal race pace for a longer duration and basically perform much more consistent over the entire race than I do in any other shoe. Now, this shoe in comparison to the Vaporfly, I would say is slightly less direct in terms of the energy return, but more consistent over the course of the race. So I feel like in the Vaporfly, if I was doing a kilometre time trial, I could probably run around 2 or 3 seconds, not much difference, faster in the Vaporfly than the Alphafly. This shoe is a little bit more clunky, less responsive than that racing shoe, but anything over that 5K distance, it comes into its own, especially when your legs start getting tired. So on that second leg, this shoe really helped me when my form started breaking up. My legs were screaming. I somehow managed to maintain that 3:12 per kilometre, which is around my 10K race pace, despite my legs being tired. So yeah, that just goes to show how great this shoe is at sort of performing over the duration of the longer distant event. So with this Ekiden colorway, I actually went half a size down in the Alphafly. So I wear UK size 8 usually. This was a UK size 8 in my first pair of Alphaflys, and this I went to a 7.5. The only reason being is I found there was a little bit of room in the toe box, which for longer runs is actually a good thing because your feet slightly swell up. But I decided to try half a size down in the Ekiden colorway, yeah, in a much more snug fit, and I actually think I prefer going half size down. I'm not sure if everyone would benefit from doing that, but that's what I did with this shoe. And the only other thing to mention about the Alphafly is it sort of has, like, the way I describe it to people, as a healing power. So when you're running along in this shoe, because there is so much ZoomX foam, especially in the heel and in the forefoot area, I believe it's only a 4mm drop, so the entire shoe is quite raised off the ground. And if you've ever run in ZoomX material, you know it's very cushioned, responsive, so it just helps protect the legs from the road, which I find helps reduce fatigue. I've tried racing sort of 10Ks in shoes that are a bit flatter in terms of stack height, and yeah, your legs start to feel a little bit tired from the impact from the road. So yeah, that pretty much summarises today's video. Had an absolutely great day out at the 100km Ekiden relay. Make sure you subscribe to Prodirect Running, their video which will reveal if we broke the world record or not. Will be out in the next few days, I believe. I've got some exciting videos planned for our little break to Stockholm. I believe we go on Friday, so in three or 4 days time we'll be flying back to Stockholm, which is where I first got into running. Hopefully I can go and do a group run with my old running club, and hopefully get a 10k race in over there as well. But yeah, until next time, aspire to run and run to inspire, and we'll see you with another video very soon. Bye bye.